So right now we're standing in our Lacey Community Center in the newer part. We're actually showcasing a little bit of our new art that we have going on here. Lacey is one of our centers that hosts student support camps. As TPS began to talk about returning to school virtually, we immediately sprung in, I guess it was probably early August, into plans on what it would take to get our buildings up to speed to be ready to host students. We have Wi-Fi in our buildings, but it's really just for employee use. So it wasn't gonna hold 10 or more students working on their computers for virtual learning. So we partnered with our IT department, who was really amazing, and in 2 weeks' time, in 5 of our centers, they were able to get in and add additional Wi-Fi for us to be able to support anywhere from 20 to 30 students in our buildings. So initially, when we were doing our assessment of all of our buildings, we went through to try to figure out how much space we could accommodate, because of course a part of our protocol was keeping the kids in smaller groups so that they were in pods of 10. Also making sure that we were going to hire aides to be with each group of 10. So the goal was to keep them no bigger than 11 or 12, and that included their adults. So when we went to advertise it, we opened up with 130 slots amongst, and that was, we had room for more than 130 slots, but that was us trying to start small and see what the need was from the community, and then we could build out as needed. So our aides are similar to what we do with our playground leaders in the summertime for our camps. However, this time they would actually be helping people do schoolwork. And I was really intentional when we set expectations for what families were signing up for, is that we did not have teachers that were in the building. So there was no promise that all their academic stuff we were gonna get it right. That we were just really trying to have an adult to create a safe space for the kids to be in a quiet space to be able to do their work. To my surprise, our aides went above and beyond. My son is in Dual Language Academy, and I struggle with the Spanish, and I worked with the aide at his center, actually here at Lacey, and showed her how to download Google Translate, and she has gone above and beyond. She maybe sends one lesson home, and I understand she gets fatigued, that we have to work together. So, and that was happening at all of our centers. We had another family that came in. They started later, after probably October-ish, and their kids were a couple weeks behind. Our staff worked really hard to get the kids back on track in learning. And so those were things that I was not promising families, that our staff was able to reach out and do and help get kids on track, and then also reaching out to teachers or schools individually to find out exactly what it was that we needed to be focusing on. We had the 130 slots. We averaged probably between 70 and 80 kids pretty much all of the fall and winter. We've gone really consistent and strong at 3 of our centers. Lacey, Central, and Whiteside have pretty much stayed to capacity. Now that TPS has returned back to school, Lacey and Whiteside still have kids that go continuously throughout the week. For whatever reason, their parents didn't return them back to school. And then all of our centers are still doing the virtual Wednesdays. So because nobody goes to school in person on Wednesdays. And we've heard an overwhelming response from different families that they could not have made it without a service like this. It allows them to still go to work and provide for their family. And it provides a different experience than what they may have gotten in camp, because it did provide a safe, quiet space for them to be able to do their schoolwork and continue on. And parents aren't all flustered when they get home from work trying to make sure everything's caught up and turned in on time. The big thing that was important is that we were really intentional about making sure that our pods stayed the same throughout. So the same 10 kids, so that way if there was an outbreak, we could continue to control what was happening and shut it down immediately. Although we've averaged 70 to 80 kids a week, we've actually had over 1,100 touch points with kids since September to last week is when I pulled down numbers. So that's been super exciting to know that we've been able to affect that number of families and kids over time. To date, we haven't had any positive contact tracing that's happened actually in our camps, and we call that a huge win for the amount of kids that we've been hosting since September. We are offering summer camp this summer. I know we've been getting a lot of questions about our splash pads and pools, and all those are planned to be opened. They may be a little different in what they look like, but the services will be offered. Our summer camps will be offered similar to what our student support camps have looked like as far as protocol. But we're excited to, as people begin to be vaccinated and numbers continue to fall, we're excited to get back to being able to offer our open gyms and all the things that the park's for, the fun place to come and hang and be with friends and family again. There you go.